Hey everybody, Prepper Nurse One here. How's everybody doing this evening? We're going to be talking. We're going to be talking tonight about. Are you ready for the increase in the price of food? I just get a text from my daughter. I had to check. I'll tell you about that in a second. We're going to talk about the price of food increases tonight and where that's heading, what's going on, all of that, and what you should be doing about it in the meantime. And crazy stuff going on weather-wise all across the country. If you watch my video that I did earlier today, I kind of talk about a little bit about what's going on with the weather. But I had somebody mention to me that in Illinois, that normally at this time of year, they have 95% of their crops planted, and right now they only have 5% of their crops planted. So that is a really scary situation just in itself. If you think about that, if you put that into perspective, there's a lot of places in the country where if they did plant, it's all flooded out, or it's been so flooded that they haven't even been able to get crops in. So what happens with that? Food prices are going to rise, and it's going to happen across the board. You're talking, soybeans, you're talking corn, everything that people can't get out there and get in there. And again, you're talking also all the grain for the cattle and those type of things. So and then you're looking at all the loss of beef and pigs that we've had out in the Midwest and stuff like that. And then even further out in Nebraska and everything with the flooding and everything that happened out there as well. So crazy stuff going on weather-wise that is going to definitely trickle down and affect us. They've already basically said the price of food is going to go up. That's already been discussed. So the time to buy food actually was yesterday, to be honest with you. But do I think this is a major SHTF event? You know what? For some people, it already is. Some people, it's already a major SHTF event. Think about this, guys. If you're the farmer in the Midwest, you're a small town farmer, you're trying to make a living, you're eking out a living, and these floods have happened, destroyed everything you had. I mean, there's think about the size of the tractors that these guys have that were sitting out there that are water damage, destroyed because of this flooding. I mean, think about just that little bit, and yeah, people have insurance, but you know how insurance companies are. They don't always want to pay what they should be paying. So, there's the loss of what their livelihood. A lot of them have not been able to recover and won't be able to recover. They're saying, like in Nebraska alone, that 25% of the farmers are done. They're not going to go back to farming again. So if you think about that and what's going on with that, that's really frightening. I can see the prices of cherry tomatoes here in my town, and they're almost $6. I can already see that the price is slowly going up, no doubt. So Jessica just said that. Yeah, that's what they're going to do. They're going to jam all these prices up. Everything is going to cost more. Again, it's just it's what's going to be happening. And if you think about, and I've talked about this in other videos, the breadbasket of America is in central United States. Nebraska's the Corn Belt, all those areas out there, and all that devastation. We feed 40% of the world with a lot of our grains and stuff like that. And here's the other thing I want you to think about. This type of stuff is not just happening in the United States. This is happening all across the globe. A lot of people are not being able to, because of either droughts or whatever the case may be. There's a lot of issues going on right now with, food production. And it is going to be really a major thing 6 months from now, 5 months from now. Again, in the meantime, you're going to see those prices slowly going up. So again, my advice to anybody at this point in time, get out there and get as much food stored up that you possibly can. Somebody had made a great point. Go ahead and get the big bags of like 50-pound bags of corn, kernel corn. That can be used for a lot of different things, guys. You can, turn that into, a mash. You can grind that up to make bread and all kinds of stuff. So those things, that's a really, really smart move. Obviously, everybody does beans and rice, so I probably don't have to tell you guys to do beans and rice, but you need to be able to have a diverse meal. If you ate nothing but rice every day in, day out, day in, day out, it would be maddening after a while. Same thing with beans. So you want to make sure you have a variety of things. Ultimately, what prepping is all about, guys, okay, if you really want to break it right down, you're prepping to get through the winter season so you can get your crops in the ground, so you can get to your wild edibles, and you can eat your wild edibles so that you can eat your strawberries and your raspberries as they come in, and so that you can eat the apples and the pears and the peaches and everything else when they come in. You're trying to make your food last long enough to get you through to that point so that you can get your gardens in. And think about the size of gardens that we're going to have to be putting in. Think about the amount of canning that's going to be having to be done to get us through winters, because food storage and prepping food is only going to last you so long. So let's say you're a super gung-ho prepper and you have 3 to 4 years worth of food storage. So you could eat every day for 3 to 4 years. Well, at some point, even if you supplement it with other things, you're going to run out of those food preps. So you need to have something in place to replace that food. So obviously, hunting is one way. But again, I've talked a little bit about that. If everybody's out in the woods hunting, there's not going to be a whole lot of game in a very short period of time. Same thing with the fish guys. If everybody's out there fishing every lake out there and pulling out fish to eat, there's not going to be a tremendous amount of fish out there to eat. So, you really need to look at, foraging, your wild edibles, and those type of things to really supplement you to get through and stuff like that, and know what to do and know what to grow and those type of things. It's really, really important. The best time to learn how to garden is right now. Figure it out, because you can't just throw seeds in the ground and then they pop up and they grow. It doesn't work like that. You really need to know what you're doing, how to take care of them, making sure that all these things are in place and taken care of. Like I said, food prices are going to do nothing but go up. And, guess what's not going to go up? Our pay. Everybody's pay is not going to go up. So you really need to be really on top of that and do the best you can. We've talked a little bit about things, before, and right now in the central part of the United States, they're facing their own SHTF event right now. Okay, when you have your home is buried in water and things are destroyed, and you can't get to your stuff, and if you could, most of it is no longer salvageable. Okay, that's an SHTF event for those people, but for the rest of us, we're not seeing it directly on an everyday basis. That is going to definitely be something that's going to, a lot of people, it's out of sight, out of mind. Well, if it's not affecting me, I'm not going to worry about it. But there's that trickle down effect. It is going to affect you. And it just, and Harvey Black just said, great advice. Said gardening is not the same as years ago. Everyone should practice gardening. And the other thing is, too, again, with that, you need to have a plan. And I'm going to give a great example. Happened to me 2 years ago, not this last year, but the year before. I overloaded my garden with tomatoes. I thought, I'm going to load up with tomatoes. I want to do a lot of canning of tomatoes and stuff like that. Well, I got a blight that year. The tomato plant started out great. Then they got a blight. And I think out of 18 tomato plants, I ended up with maybe 5 edible tomatoes. So you have to plan for those type of contingencies as well. Not everything is going to come in every year. So to have a diverse garden is very, very important. Okay, have a lot of different things, because some things may grow gangbusters that year, other things will not. Okay, a great thing to plant, guys, and it's a staple. If you go back to Ireland, potatoes. Potatoes are a great thing. You plant potatoes and they can really do really, really well, and they can give you a lot of food. And those are something that store very well as well. So, but like I said, so JJ Biggs just said corn, potatoes, and carrots. Absolutely. Your root vegetables are really going to be important too. I planted carrots this year. I got, I planted, peas and green beans and And what else did I plant? Oh my God. Well, I got a lot of different things planned. I can't remember off the top of my head everything. Today has been a crazy day, guys. I just got to tell you real quick. Uh, so the guys came up tonight. Now the forecast for tomorrow. In the morning, it's a 10% chance of rain. By like 11 o'clock, they're talking about a 70% chance of rain here at the homestead tomorrow. So they came up tonight, and we got going with stuff and started trying to get things going tonight, working on things. I ended up having to make a run to get more wire. We didn't have enough wire. So I was like 6 o'clock tonight. I was running down. It was a half an hour drive one way to the Lowe's, local Lowe's. And I had to get this wire, and I'm like, trying to get back in time. So I'm like, oh my God, I got to do my show. So just crazy, but we've been, working on things already. I will do a lot of video. You guys are going to see a lot of video on the process of what we did and how we did it and everything like that. And I got a big shout out to somebody that actually made a couple of pieces for us, and I will show you those as well. So it's going to be really, really cool. So I am really, I know I've said it before the last few days. I'm super, super psyched. Even if it's raining tomorrow, we're going to get this job done. So I'm really excited about getting the new solar system in. And it's funny because today I just had the best day of solar so far off my system this year. I pulled in 5 kilowatt hours today. So I'm really looking forward to see the increase as we add 3 more panels onto the system, and also with everything being up higher, and I think it's going to be a lot. We're going to be pulling in a lot more power, and so I'm really, really excited about that. So it should be fun. It should be a lot of fun. So I think what I'm going to do also, I'm going to get a hot water tank for the dump, because once it gets into absorption mode, then it's just dumping power. I think I'm going to divert some of that into a water tank, so that we can have hot water whenever we want it that way as well. So it's another way to have, a form of hot water as well. So I think that'll be pretty neat too. So you'll see all that as we do it. So, hey, James, thank you for the donation. Love what you do. Keep up the great work. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Jason Creech, I'm Creech. I hope I said that right. If I didn't, I apologize. But thank you again. Yeah, thanks, guys. It's so weird. Going back to food, I want to talk about that a little bit too. If you've watched my videos for any length of time, I think I started talking about it over the winter. Gut feeling, I said, load up on food, load up on food, load up on food. And I practice what I preach. I have been doing the same exact thing, and the people in my group have been doing the same exact thing. So we're adding a lot of food to our preps. I don't always show all the food preps that I get, because it's like, it becomes monotonous. So if I'm showing you, oh, look, I got this and I got that, you don't need to see that every time. So, but I have continued to add to my preps. I will, like I said, guys, you need to be diverse in your preps. You really, really need to be diverse. Canned goods, real important to have canned goods. The best by date doesn't mean anything, okay? All that means is the food starts to lose nutritional value after that date. It is still very, very edible. So as long as that can is not swollen, rusted, or when you open it up, it's got a really foul smell, then it's not any good. So don't eat that type of food. But other than that, that food should be good to go, okay? The second thing, you definitely need to have your long-term food storage. You need to have your rice. You need to have your beans and those type of things. Corn, all those type of things. You really need to have those type of things. Then again, you need to add in freeze-dried food with that as well. Long-term food storage with the legacy food. And actually, while I'm talking about it real quick, I'm going to mention it. I talked with Amy yesterday from Legacy, and they decided to do a different sale. What they're doing is the 120 meal breakfast, lunch, and dinner bucket is you buy one, you get the second one half off. So in order to save, you have to buy both of them. That is available right now on my website. That's going to be about a week to 10-day sale. But that's what they're doing. They're trying to, to help people out. So that's what they're doing right now. So if you want to take advantage of that, like I said, having freeze-dried food along with everything else is really, really important. It does, and here's the thing is, you don't have to buy it through me. If you want to go with any other brand or whatever, that is completely up to you. But I've had Legacy. I eat Legacy. It's really, really good food, and I'm not going to lie to you. So, But if you're interested, go check that out on my website. I did want to mention too, real quick. It's not available yet. We just bought a new kind of program type of thing. We're going to be offering very, very soon gift cards on my website. So if you're looking to get a gift card for somebody and give them that gift card so that they could come to the website and and purchase whatever they wanted, those are going to be available soon. So as soon as those are available, I will let you know. Okay. Produce is going to get expensive. Yeah, Gord, you're absolutely right. So the more of your own stuff that you can grow, it's going to be better. Guys, yeah, if you would give me a thumbs up, I would appreciate that. Let's jump that up there if we could. But food prices, produce is going to go up. Your corn prices are going to go up. Gasoline is going to go up because the ethanol production is down. So, it's going to be more difficult and stuff like that. So those prices are also going to go up. Soybeans, all these different things, you think about the losses these farmers are taking because of those, the disasters that are going on, and they're happening right now. I mean, if you go on there and you look at the news and you see the different things, and it might not be in the forefront of the news, but if you were paying attention, it is 5-pound bag of oranges were $6.99 last week. Sharon Warren just said that. Yeah, like I said, everything is going to go up. Meat products, exactly. Sean just said that. Yes, meat prices are going to go up because they lost a lot of beef. They lost a lot of pigs out there. They lost a lot of chickens out there. So when you don't have that, that's all those things are, the prices of everything is going to go up. So very, very scary stuff, guys. And, but anyway, I was saying to you before about how something told me, 6-8 months ago, it's time to really load up on food. I'm going to reiterate that to you again tonight. It's really, really important that you guys add to your food preps. Do the best you can. Again, even if it's only 2 weeks worth of food, guys, it gives you that advantage over 95% of the people. 95% of the people are going to do absolutely nothing. As more of us and more of us are waking up, as more and more of us are waking up, it's a really good thing because more people are getting ready. And the more of us that are getting ready, the more of us that are aware of what is going on. Like I said, if you can give yourself an advantage over 95% of the people, I want you to think about this. And I talked about a little bit about this before. There's nothing worse than somebody who is desperate and scared. Okay, you put that combination, that person is a very, very dangerous person because they will do whatever they have to get whatever they want. Okay, so I want you to think about that. But let's add this into it. Okay, you have a person that say hasn't eaten a regular meal in a couple of weeks. They're not thinking clearly. Their mind is not sharp. They're overtired. They're probably not getting proper rest. They're exhausted. Again, desperate, scared. You put that whole combination together. But if you have been eating and if you are getting your proper rest and those type of things, it's going to give you another tactical advantage over those people as well. So I want you to think about that. How do you keep the pantry moss out of the food? I use tarps. I seal. Everything is sealed. Everything that I have, that a lot of the stuff that I prep, obviously not canned goods, but most everything that I prep, I put in 5-gallon buckets. So I either vacuum seal them or use Mylar bags and those type of things. I use bay leaves and everything. So I'm putting bay leaves and stuff because the bugs don't like the bay leaves. I freeze everything. So like a lot of my preps that are in the 5-gallon buckets or get frozen and stuff like that. So that food is not going to have the larva and that type of stuff in there. So again, that's an advantage as well. Gas is $2.84.9 in Wisconsin. Yeah, I think we're up to $2.89, I believe, here now. And that, again, there's something else that's creeping up. Again, guys, everything is going up in price. The only thing that's not going up in price is our pay. So I want you to think about that too, because that is a really scary thing if you think about it. The pay is staying the same. Everything is going up, and I know it's difficult, and I know it's not easy, but the advantage that you can give yourself by having that extra food, to giving yourself that edge is going to make all the difference in the world. Okay, so actually, this is for JJ. Got the green tea tonight again because JJ gets offended when I drink green tea, so I got to make sure I drink it. And it's a joke, guys. It's a joke. JJ and I started, so just so you know, it's not real. But Ashley, you're saying 290? Okay, yeah, because I'm more middle of the state now. I used to be upstate. I used to be in Rochester, New York, but I'm south of Rochester now. So, but yeah, it's about 289 here. Edward Wilcox said I get 3 more cans each time I go shopping, and that's the way to do it. Work at it methodically. But if you have the money set aside and you can, because again, think about this: the prices are not going to come down; they're going to go up. And once they raise the prices up, guys, they're not real keen on ever bringing them back down. Because once you get used to paying a certain price, that's what they're going to try to keep you at. Okay, so if you're buying canned goods and you can load up on canned goods, do it. If you can buy your beans and your rice, do it. If you can buy your long-term freeze-dried foods, do that. Okay, give yourself that advantage. It's so important. Okay, and I keep saying it over and over and over again, and I'm going to continue to say it because I want you to realize how really, I mean, it's really this strong thing in me that is saying that bad things are really coming, and we really need to be ready as best we can. And again, like I said, right now, SHTF is hit for the people in central United States, guys. Oklahoma, in the flooding that they're having, and and then you got Missouri with the Missouri River, and the Mississippi. They're talking that there's going to be 7 to 10 days. Basically, everybody along the Mississippi, any of those larger communities, are going to experience either extreme or record flooding. And so think about that. If you're in one of those areas, definitely try to be prepared as best that you can for those type of situations. Again, I talked about this before. If you are in a flood area, having Life Vest especially for the children, really, really important. Yourself included. I mean, it's not going to do the kids any good if you drowned. Okay, so having Life Vest for everybody, important. You can get a dry bag. Keep supplies in that dry bag. Those are great to have. They'll float too. You can lay on top of those, as well, and that'll work for you as well. So those are things to think about. Okay, just like I said, be prudent, be smart. Just try to work at things, and just do the best you can. I mean, it's that's important to remember. Because it's crazy stuff with like I said, the prices are just going up, and up, and they're not going to go down. So if you have the money now's the best time because this is the cheapest it's going to be. Again, I've been prepping for a long time, and I'll tell you what, stuff that I bought 5-6 years ago, it's not that price anymore. So I look at that as money in the bank, and that's the way I look at it. It's just a smart thing to do. Hey, Lucy Loose, one of the cats. So, old skills have gone the wayside. Gardening and saving seeds is a skill. Absolutely, Jessica. Great comment. And it's true. A lot of people don't know how to garden anymore. So, if you can take different courses to find out how to do stuff, do it. Get with somebody that knows how to garden and learn. Get out there, get your hands dirty. Even if you're helping them in their garden, learn from them. Those are important things. Your older folks, guys, they still have that knowledge. A lot of them do. Okay, go and learn from them. That is so important because I'm telling you right now, in my gut, I feel the time is short. It's crazy. I don't know how to explain that other than that. It's just a feeling that I've had for a while that we really need to be ready as quickly as we possibly can. I mean, you see what I'm doing here, guys. I'm practicing what I'm preaching. I got things going full force here at the homestead. We're getting a lot of things done. And I'm trying to continue to get things done. And it's like as soon as this solar rack project is done for now, then we're going to move on to the next thing. So, it's all coming together, but it takes time. Sharon just said, I've had that feeling too for years. Yeah, something's telling me time is short. So it's kind of scary. But if you just, like I said, do the best you can. Again, I'm not telling you to do this out of fear, guys, and I don't like to try to. I'm not trying to scare anybody, but it's just the smart thing to do. It's just another form of insurance. It's trying to be ready and to be smart and help your family. Do it for your family. If you're not going to do it for yourself, do it for your family, because a lot of people are not awake, and usually it's one family member that is the one that's awake and the other one's not. But you know what? When that time comes, that one that was asleep at the switch, they're going to get down on their knees and they're going to thank you. They're going to be like, wow, I'm really, really glad you did what you did. So, let's see, what do we got here? Yeah, guys, if you get a chance to, if you haven't already, go over to the Watchman News and subscribe to Mike. He's got a real good channel. He does news every single day, gives a lot of great information. So go check him out and give him some love. He's my IT guy. He does everything for me behind the scenes, and he is absolutely awesome. So I can't say enough nice things about him. Ever thought about doing cooking videos with recipes? You know what? I've thought about that, and I probably will do that. It's just like right now, it's like I'm in outside mode because the weather's actually finally nice, and for the most part, when it's not raining, and I can get things done outside, and that's what I'm trying to do at this point. We're getting there. Things are definitely coming together, so it's important to just keep steadily working away at things, and it's just like with food preps. If you work at it slowly, before you know it, you're going to have a lot of food, and you're just going to look at it and go one day and be like, wow, I can't believe I got that much food. But just like somebody just said, every time they go shopping, they pick up 3 more cans. So if you did it like that, you can get canned vegetables. Sometimes you can get them for 39 cents a can, or you get them 2 for $1 or wherever. I mean, Aldi's is a great place to go. I got a lot of my canned goods at Aldi's. I'm not going to lie. They got the best prices. So if you have an Aldi's near you, go in there. When I go to Aldi's, I buy by the case. I'll be honest with you. That's how I do it. When I go to Aldi's, I'll look and I'll be like, okay, do I want this soup? And it's a case of 24. I'll pick up the whole case and I buy the whole case, because I know it's going to not go to waste. So, again, so somebody just said oatmeal is a great prepper food. Harvey just said that. Absolutely. Oatmeal is a great thing to have. I stock up on oatmeal myself. I love oatmeal. It's absolutely awesome. So paid $3.69 a gallon in Fairbanks. Wow. That's crazy. So let's do this real quick. Where is everybody from tonight? Let's just see where everybody is from. So if you want to put that up there, we can kind of take a look and see. We got Kentucky, Southern Michigan, Colorado, Western Maine, Ohio, Colorado again, Texas, Indiana, California, Chicagoland, Florida, British Columbia, Ontario, Canada, Mobile, Alabama, New Zealand. I saw New Zealand there. The UK, very cool. Alabama, Tallahassee, Florida, Phoenix, Connecticut, Nashville, Northern California, Glen Falls, New York. Hey, there you go. Liberty Hills, Texas, another Ontario, Canada, Raleigh, North Carolina. Very cool. I lived in Chapel Hill for a while back in the day. We got Maine, Missouri, Toronto, Alabama. Again, all over, guys. And see, this is what I love, because we are a huge family, and that's what we are. There's not a whole lot of people that are awake, and we're this family. We're this network of people that we can connect and we can help each other if we can. And actually, speaking to that, while I was thinking about that, on my website, we have the Prepper Nurse One community, which is totally free. It doesn't cost anything to join. You go in there, you can join that community, and you can meet with like-minded people, talk with like-minded people. We have great forums. The forums are blowing up on there all the time. People got a lot of different things they're discussing. It's a great way to discuss things with like-minded people, share information and stuff like that. Also, whatever state you're in, you can join that state, And hopefully, if you're looking to form a group or you're looking for people in your state that you want to connect with, it's a great way to do that. So definitely check that out. And again, it doesn't cost anything. It's very, very private. Nobody can just come in and go in there and see what's going on. You have to be registered. So it's a great way to talk with like-minded people. And if you're looking to connect or form a group, because I'm telling you guys right now, and I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again, with what is coming, if you are not part of a group, you are not going to survive what's coming. That lone wolf mentality is not the smart way to be. You need to have people that are going to have your back. You are going to get sick. Everybody gets sick, okay? Be it a cold, the flu, whatever. So you are not going to be able to stay up 20. I want you to think about this, okay? When an SHTF event happens, and it's just a matter of when, not a matter of if, highly stressed, you're going to be overtired, you're not going to be getting the normal sleep that you normally got before. There's a lot more responsibilities that are going to come into play. You're going to have people that are going to want to take your stuff. So you're going to have people, somebody has to be up 24 hours a day, okay? Because of those type of things, if you are that lone wolf, you're going to go to sleep at some point. And if somebody's watching you and seeing what you're doing, they're going to know what your patterns are, and they're going to know when you're going to go to sleep, and they're going to come and they're going to take your stuff. They may kill you, and they'll take your stuff. But if you have a group and you have a group of people, if somebody gets sick, there's the next person to step up and take that person's place. You can get into a normal sleep pattern. If you are part of the night watch, then you're sleeping during the day, and you can sleep because you know somebody else is watching your back. These are important things to remember, guys, and I really want you to think about these things, because I just don't say it to hear myself talk. I'm really, really passionate about this. If you do not have a group, you are not going to live through what is coming. There's a lot of bad people out there, but there's a lot of good people too. There will be people that join your group that you never expected that you would have in your group. I'm telling you that too. I'm a big believer in that too. I see that as clear as it's day or night. People are going to come in. They're going to have skill sets that you're going to need. You're going to have people that are going to come in that are going to offer, like I've said before, okay? In comes the dentist, and he says, well, I'm a dentist, and I worked as a dentist, and this is, the skill that I have. That's a very valuable person, because your teeth are really important. If you get a tooth infection, something that can kill you, So to be able to have a dentist in a group, I mean, that's a luxury. So if you can find those type of people that have the different skill sets, those are going to be very, very valuable people. Again, what I also said before, make yourself valuable. Learn different skills, know how to do different things, so that if you go to a group and they're like, we're not taking anybody, you can say, well, I'm a seamstress, I can make shoes, I can do this, I can do that, I can get wild edibles, I can get medicinal medicine, from plants, I have these skills. They're going to take you in. Now, they're going to make you prove yourself, but they're going to take you in, because it's going to help their group survive. And those are things that I really, really want you to think about, because that's really, really important. Okay, guys? Little prepper lady just joined us here. I see that. Everybody's saying hi to her. She'll be joining me on Sunday, guys. Again, Sunday, we're going to be talking about Ebola. So little prepper lady will be here on Sunday to join me. She's going to join me every Sunday. I'm going to do my Wednesdays and Fridays by myself, but she's going to join me on Sundays. So this week we're going to be doing Ebola. The week after that, we're going to do 5G. So that's what's up the next 2 weeks. And then we'll just kind of go from there and see what we're going to do after that. But yeah, it'll be some good topics, hopefully good discussions. What is the oldest date of food that I have prepped? Oh, let's see. I have rice that is probably about 9 or 10 years old right now. I have like elbow macaroni, those type of things. Those are really good long-term stuff. I have salt that's probably 8, 9, 10 years old. I have sugar that's probably 8, 9, 10 years old. So I have a lot of those type of preps. Those were my early preps when I got going. I probably have Salt alone, I probably got 160, 170 pounds of salt alone packed away. And I haven't packed up any new salt in years. So it's a lot of stuff from older. I vacuum sealed it, put it in a 5 gallon bucket, and sealed it again, and I haven't touched it since. So, how do you keep away the bugs away from sugar? JJ just said. Again, the best way to do it, if you freeze everything that you're going to use, guys. Anything that you're going to put away, if you freeze it first, if you can freeze it for a week, great. You're going to kill everything, okay? Then you either vacuum seal it, you put it in Mylar bags. You make sure if you can do it, put those bay leaves in with whatever your preps are. Stick a couple of bay leaves in there. There's no such thing as too much. A lot of times I'll throw 4 or 5 bay leaves in something that I'm packing up. You put that in there. Bugs don't like the bay leaves. So you get that, you put that into your bucket, and then you're sealing your bucket again. So it's sealed up already in something, then it's sealed again in that bucket again. Then you throw it in a relatively cool, dry place, and you're going to be good to go. And you want to avoid sunlight. So if you can keep it away from the sun, that's the way to do it. Wow, bay leaf tree in the yard. That's very cool. Very nice. I would harvest as much of that as I can. Will we be doing another UFO chat sometime in the future? We can do that. We can do that again. That was a great topic. We had a good time with that. And yeah, down the road, we can do that again. There's a lot of other things, guys, right now that we do want to discuss first. But yeah, we can do another UFO chat again down the road. Food can also go hyperinflation. No one will be able to buy. MBG just said that. Right. I mean, it's like you get to a point, you get to a point where the prices, people can't afford to buy anything. And so what happens at that point? What are you going to do? Realistically, what are your plans? How ready are you for those type of scenarios? And again, that would definitely be, I put the bay leaves in my linen cupboard and make sure no creepy things move in. That's the way to do it too. Yeah, you put the bay leaves around. Like I said, it keeps a lot of the bugs away. They do not like them. So again, packing all those in your storage, that's a great way to do it. Again, guys, I'm going to ask you for a thumbs up again. If you could throw me another thumbs up if you haven't done it already, I would appreciate it. Let's see if we can get it up over 200 thumbs up here. What's my take on the Orville Dam in Northern California? It's 3 feet from going over and leaking. Yeah, that is a very, very scary thing, guys. That is a disaster that is going to happen. It's a matter of time. And think about the damage that's going to do when that dam gives way. There's a lot of people downriver that are going to be in really, really bad shape. Because of the Orville Dam. Yeah, that's they've had the opportunities to fix it. And they put Band-Aids on stuff, which is, again, I've talked about the infrastructure in our country is atrocious. It's antiquated. It's all very, very old, okay? We need to do a complete overhaul. And again, like I said, I don't understand why our politicians are not addressing these type of things. You want to create jobs. You want to stimulate the economy. You want to make money for the economy. We don't need to go to war to do that. Now, war is big business, and we make a lot of money. People make a lot of money. But unfortunately, too many young people die, come back home, deformed, maimed, crippled, completely unnecessarily. If we brought our young men and women home, put them to work on infrastructure, bridges, dams, roadways, waterways, the levees, okay? That's 5 things right there. Also, the grid, hardening the grid, redoing the entire grid. All those type of things, if we did that, we could put people to work for 20 years. For 20 years. People could start at 18, 19 years old, and they could retire doing that. That's how far our system is out of whack. It just doesn't make any sense to me. It's such a simple solution to stimulate our economy, to get things going, and they're just not doing it. And it doesn't make any kind of sense whatsoever. So, Yeah, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy, and I don't get it. I don't understand why they don't do that. They want to sit up there in Washington and play games and have a pissing contest. And pardon me being kind of frank saying that, like, they're going to whip it out. Look, at mine's bigger than yours. No, no, mine's bigger than yours. It's ridiculous. Okay, they have to win. Nobody has to win. Work together. Get things done. Help our country. Make our country great. It could be huge again. It could be great. It could be wonderful. I mean, it's not a bad place now, don't get me wrong. But it's getting harder and harder and harder for people every day, and they're struggling. Those jobs are out there. We could create these jobs and put people to work, put our young people to work. You know, too many egos trying to run the country, JJ. It's a great statement right there. You are absolutely correct. Their egos. It's all about, I'm so important. Nobody's that important. I'm going to tell you what, I told somebody one time, I said, you know what, I don't think I'm better than anybody else, regardless of what position I've held or what job I've had. I put my pants on the same exact way as John D. Rockefeller did, one leg at a time. It don't make him no better to me because he had more money. He's just, he's just another human being. So, when we put it into that perspective, we're all in this trying to survive and trying to live and trying to take care of our families and try to enjoy life. That's what it should be about. People should not have to work 60, 70 hours a week to try to get by and then just barely make it by. You can only do that for so long. You will burn yourself out, okay? But if we have this opportunity where we can help our country, make our country this awesome place that it has the potential to be, we should do it. And it wouldn't take that much. It really, really wouldn't, and, but there's just all these games going on, forget about the wall. Forget about the southern border wall. We want to talk about that for a second. That's another whole topic, okay? Let's work on the bridges. Let's work on the levees. Let's work on the dams. Let's make sure that people can live and be safe. How hard is that? Why is that so difficult? That doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, I want to be safe. I'm sure my neighbors want to be safe. I think all you guys want to be safe. So it just, you're going to need to have seeds. I want to learn from Energy Transfers just said you got to have seeds. Yeah, you need seeds, guys. But the key with that too, you need to know what you're doing with those seeds. All right, that's important as well. Just throwing something in the ground and waiting for it to pop up, that's not how it works. You got to watch it. You got to make sure the weeds are not there. Know what that plant looks like when you're pulling it up out of the ground. That's important too. So Washington State governor just signed an order for law enforcement officers not to notify ICE. Isn't that crazy? That is absolutely crazy, and I don't understand that. It makes no sense whatsoever. I have no problem with people coming into our country. Do it the right way. You want to come into my country or be part of it? And okay, so when I talked about this before, and I said that if people come in the right way, I have no problem with anybody coming into our country. Of course, then I get to people like, well, you stole the land from the Indians, like I was directly responsible. I was born here. I'm an American. It's not my fault. That's where I live. That's where I was born. I didn't kill no Indians, okay, or American Indians. I didn't kill anybody, okay? So it's like what happened 200 years ago or whatever, I have no control over that. I had nothing to do with that. So we're talking about right here and now. What happened with the American Indian is a travesty, and I will be the first to say that what happened to them was horrible. What people did to them, okay? But how was that my responsibility? What did I have to do with that? I had nothing to do with that, And so, and I love and the other thing, of course, we're going to blame everything on white people. I don't understand that either. There's been conquering people all across the continent for thousands and thousands of years, and it didn't matter what color people were. This group was taking over that group, and this group was trying to kill that group. But it's like it's politically correct now to blame everything on white people. So I'm just like, whatever. I don't get it. Prepper 101 says I blame everything on my mother-in-law. That's funny. Maryland law enforcement is also prohibited from informing ICE if they arrest illegal immigrants. That is absolutely ridiculous. It's crazy. You know, if you are not here legally in this country, I don't care what country you came from, uh, then you need to go. You know, we're not responsible to take care of everybody. We can't take care of everybody. We can't even take care of our own people in this country. We're not taking care of our vets. We're not taking care of, we got poor kids every day that are starving every single day. Every day. Are we taking care of them? You know, and that's what bothers me more than anything else, especially the veterans. Take care of our combat veterans, and people that don't agree with that, then I really don't care. But our combat veterans, people that saw combat, served this country, and I had some people were saying negative things about that. Well, they were serving the industrial complex, blah blah blah. You know what? I served. A lot of my fellow Americans also served. I volunteered, you know, and most of them did as well, except that, back in Vietnam era, there was the draft, so they didn't have a choice. But there's no draft now; it's all volunteer. But they are still risking their lives for everybody else. Okay, and so they need that respect. And like I said, I have never seen combat. I've said it many times before, and I'll say it again. And I'm actually very, very grateful that I never did, because that changes you. It changes who you are. And so my hats go off to the men and women that have gone over and seen combat. You know what they want, guys? I'm going to tell you exactly what they want, because when I was in the service, we wanted the same thing. They want to do their job, and they want to go home to their families. They're like anybody else. They want to go home to their families. So, let's see. This country used to be the best, and it can be again. It absolutely can be again. And you know what? If we as a people say enough is enough and do something about it, it could be again. It absolutely could be again. I was laughing when we were talking. One of the things we were talking about, like with taxes. Well, if you don't pay taxes, who takes care of the roads? Well, I live on a dead end dirt road that the town don't take care of. We take care of the road. The people that live here take care of the road. And guess what? It's not a bad road, because if we get potholes, we get the material and we take care of it. And because it's like, unless you like driving through all those bumps, people are going to do what they got to do. Now, not everybody pitches in. I will tell you that. But I feel, because I live here, that it's my responsibility to do my part, and that's what I try to do. Two of my ancestors lost two of Washington's French generals during the Revolutionary War. Well, you know what? There you go. And that's pretty cool, actually. Because the French were on our side during the Revolutionary War. I don't know if a lot of people knew that or not. Yeah, what happens when an illegal gets in a car accident or hits a pedestrian? They run. Right, because they don't want to get deported. They don't want to get sent back. There's some that have been deported, came back, got deported again, came back again. I mean, that nonsense needs to stop. I know that President Trump is putting a tariff now, a 5% tariff on imported goods from Mexico, to try to put pressure on Mexico. And he said that, that he's going to increase that tariff unless they do something about the flow of immigration. Whatever happened to putting our troops down there at the border and stopping these people from coming in? I mean, I know it's a long stretch of area, but, close the border. Exactly. Prepper 101 just said, close the border. We could do that. That would stop it. They wouldn't come over there if there was, guys standing there with M16s. They're not going to just keep willy-nilly coming in. So, yeah, so Kevin H said maybe they need to start shooting people at the border. That opens a whole other can of worms. So I have my opinion on that. But I'm not going to even open that Pandora's box, because you're going to get the bleeding hearts losing their mind if you started doing something like that. So, but, they need to do something. They need to stop. What somebody was saying is like 5,000 people a day are crossing the border, coming in here illegally. I mean, that's insane. And you know what? I'm sorry that a lot of these countries are having a lot of issues, but why are you going to come here and sponge off of us? And that's what happens. People say, "Oh, well, they don't get any help." Yeah, they do. They do. They're putting people up. They're putting them in hotels. They're giving them money. They're dropping them off in towns. Why? Why are not just shipping these people back? It doesn't make any sense to me. Just install some signs that say minefield. Yeah, no kidding. That would definitely make sure you have it in Spanish so they can understand what it says too. The question is, where are they going once they've crossed? Yeah, there's a lot of people are going all over the place. You look what's even happening in Canada. I know my Canadian subscribers. They're bringing in. Got a country of 35 million people. They're bringing in like 340,000 of these people coming across the border, flooding across the border all the time. It's absolutely crazy, and it just continues to happen. Sanctuary cities. Yep, exactly. I'll tell you what. Like I said, you guys know. I talked about it. I was out in San Francisco last year as part of the motorcycle tour. We actually were in San Francisco for 2 days. It is like the president said, an SH hole. It is deplorable. It is disgusting. Um, you know, Terrible, terrible environment. People sleeping on park benches, dirty, begging, a lot of waste everywhere. There's certain parts in San Francisco that you don't want to go because they're defecating in the streets. Absolutely insane. And I'm sure there's some places in San Francisco that are nice, but from what I saw with my own two eyes, I would have no desire to ever go back to San Francisco again. Now, when we went 200 miles down the coast to San Simeon in San Francisco, that was beautiful. That was a beautiful, beautiful area. Just absolutely gorgeous. So, but again, it just depends on where you are. But when you have these sanctuary cities and they have all these people coming in, it's, and they're just letting them stay. And who's taking care of them? We are, guys. Don't think that we're not with our tax dollars or our donations to whatever charity. That's helping those people out. So we're enabling them to come in here and do what they want to do, which is absolutely crazy. Yeah, with our debt, exactly. And our debt's bad enough right now. They need to get rid of that. They need to do something about that. Again, put people to work, make our country better again. You look at the Autobahn over in Germany. I mean, that was a marvel at the time, still is, and they should do stuff like that here. They could do stuff like that here. Put the money into it. And then people are working. When people are working, they're spending money, they're putting more money back into the economy, and it's a win-win situation. And there's the work is there. The infrastructure needs to be taken care of, has to be, because at some point, I'm telling you right now, and I've talked about it over and over and over again, lights are going to go out, and they're not going to come back on for a good long time. And be it, we will give you Trudeau. No, I don't. We don't want him. But Rusty just said that. But with putting people back to work, like I said, it's just going to make everything better, and it's important that we need to do that. And I don't understand the games and why they're not. It really need to get on them. We need to, like I said, the lights are going to go off if we don't get these things taken care of. And when they go off, they're going to be off for a good long time. And it's going to be a disaster, guys. It will be a disaster, like no disaster. You couldn't even begin to fathom how bad it will be. If we have a grid down situation, be it an EMP, be it a solar flare, be it a supposed cyber attack, you are talking about decimation of the country, And if it happened anywhere else in coordination at the same time in different parts of the world, it would be the same exact thing. It would be decimation. It'd be horrible. A lot of people will die because a lot of people now, unlike 100 years ago even, they're not self-sufficient anymore. People don't have those skill sets, and they're not going to make it. And they're going to try to take from people that do, you know. Ace of Spades just said, I was in the New York City blackout. Yeah, I mean, and it's like, and people within inside of a couple hours were stealing when that blackout happened because they knew that the cameras and everything wasn't working. So what did they do? They went out and started ransacking right away. A certain element of people did that. And you're going to see that again and again. So that's why, like I said, if you can put yourself in a situation where you can give yourself an advantage, do it. If you can get out of the cities, do it. If you can get out of suburbia, do it. Get out into the country. You're going to give yourself a better chance of survival. You absolutely are. It's less expensive to live in the country. The taxes are not going to be as high, and it's a lot more peaceful and it's a lot more satisfying life. And then learn from the locals, learn how to grow, learn how to plant. When harvest time comes, learn that canning, learn how to do these things, because that's what's going to help you get by when this situation happens. It really is. Food is going to be key, guys. I know I've said it over and over and over again, but food is going to be key. So, and again, I'm going to say it again. If you haven't given me a thumbs up here yet, guys, would you please do that? Give me another thumbs up. Let's see if we can get it up to like let's say 260. Let's see if we can get it up over 260 here. You can learn so easily nowadays through YouTube. So many great skills. Jessica just said that. And you know what? There's a ton of videos out there, guys. A lot of great information. You can learn anything. Anything. You can learn all kinds of stuff from that. So that opportunity is there. That anything you can download, put into a PDF, put it into a thumb drive, do that. Get those informations, get those books, get all that knowledge. Knowledge is power. After SHTF, what you know is going to make the difference if you make it or not. Having those skills, knowing how to make a shelter, knowing how to survive in the elements, knowing how to find food, forage and find food. Those are all things that are going to help you survive what's coming. Let's see. Yeah, each team member can bring a skill that is valuable. Jessica just said, man, Jessica's on a roll here with great comments tonight. Thank you, Jessica. I appreciate it. And it always seems I'm looking and when she's saying something, but she's making some great comments. When you have a group of people, guys, everybody brings something different to the table, even the way that they look at things. They can look at a problem and you can have 4 different ways to solve it, but you want to try to do the easiest way. So if Charlie over here has the best way to solve that problem, hey, Tree Frog 82, thank you very much. Thank you for that donation. I appreciate it. Then you go with the best way to solve that problem. So when you have different people looking at the problem and knowing how to solve it, and like I said, maybe you got this guy over here that he's a great canner. He's been canning for 15, 20 years, and he knows all the ins and outs of canning. Well, you know what his job is going to be? He needs to teach everybody else how to can, okay? Then you got the guy who's the gardener, or the lady that's the gardener that's been doing horticulture and working and growing things for 20 years. Everybody needs to go and learn from her. Cross learning, guys, learning different skills, because what if something happens to her and she gets sick and she passes away? Her knowledge dies with her, and that's a waste. So if you can learn from these people, that is the best thing that's going to be. The carpenter, okay? You got the carpenter in the group. Get with the carpenter, learn how to do things, and figure those things out. That is what we all need to do, okay? Really, really important stuff. I can't emphasize it enough how important it is. Again, a group is going to be the key. If you can be part, and think about this, what kind of group do you want to be with? If you get tied in with the marauding group that's going and raping and murdering, but you're trying to stay alive, so you're going to go along. Maybe you won't rape and murder anybody, but you're going to have to do what you have to do to survive. Do you want to be in that kind of group, or would you rather be in a group that you established before SHTF happened, that are decent, solid, good people? Okay, think about that too. I want you to really think about that. And groups are out there, and you can actually loosely affiliate yourself with different people. Even New York State, as big as New York State is, I have people that I have talked to in different parts of New York State that, if something happens, we do want to try to work together. That's really, really important too. And I think that everybody should try to do that. I really do. I learned a lot from my Depression era parents. Bruno just said that. Yeah, you know what? They lived through a time when different things had to be done to survive. And, they knew how to do it back then. My grandparents were Depression era people. My grandmother, hey, Michael, bulk oats and mylar, oxygen absorber, best low energy for preparation, nights balanced carb. And thank you for that donation as well. You're right. Yeah, oats are going to be a big thing too, guys. Corn, oats, those type of thing, rolled oats. Get those type of things. Get them stocked up as well. Again, being able to make bread, that's a skill. That's something that you really should know how to do now. But being able to have that corn and those type of things, that's a good thing to do. Get those type of things. Learn how to do it. Again, the more valuable you make yourself, the better your chances of surviving what's coming are. Okay. Like I said, people are going to be in part of groups that they never anticipated being in part of. Okay. Bulk oats with molasses from Animal Feed Store. No additives. James just said that. Very cool. So there you go. You can get bulk oats that way with molasses. Yep. That's a good way of doing it. Very good way of doing it. The grid EMP not going to go down until 5G is in place. Debbie just said that. Well, it could be, but it wouldn't shock me if they did some kind of a cyber attack and they blamed it on somebody else, and that way we got a new enemy. And it could be very well from within. That would not shock me at all. Any dreams lately about the future? Yes, I've had a few. A lot of stuff I keep to myself, but I see things all the time, guys. It's kind of creepy, to be honest with you. I've been dreaming in the future since I was a little kid, so I've seen a lot of interesting things. The best thing we can do is to try to give ourselves the best advantage that we possibly can. Like I said, food prices are going to do nothing but continue to go up. So definitely, work on that. Try to do the best you can. Before we jump off here, guys, let's see if we can get over 300 thumbs up, please. If you haven't given me a thumbs up yet, I would appreciate you doing that. Do I see lottery numbers? I wish I saw the lottery numbers for tonight, 444 million. Yeah, I wish I had those numbers in my head. That would be awesome. But it doesn't work like that, unfortunately. But anyway, guys, I just wanted to say, we are all in this together. That's important to remember. Working together, trying to help each other is really, really important, okay? Also, hug and kiss the ones you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. Oh, look who's coming to join me. Eddie and Abel. Okay, that's enough of Abel. Thank you. And also, guys, remember STD. It's one step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you're trying to do, whatever you're trying to accomplish, you can do it. The only one that's going to stop you from getting there is yourself. Nobody else can stop you, okay? So focus on that. You guys will be fine. Just work on things. I hope everybody has a great weekend. I can't wait to get the project going here and showing you what we got happening tomorrow. It's going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully the rain holds off for us, so we'll see what happens with that. I will talk to you guys all tomorrow. Have a great night. Prepper Nurse 1 out for now.